HOU.co Coliseum, Astros baseball in Oakland. The Astros and Athletics match up for just one more game in this three-game series. We are very glad to have you with us on this afternoon game. Gorgeous and comfortable, especially down here on the field. Julia Morales joining you now. Alan Ashby and Jeff Blum will join you in just a few minutes. The Astros have put themselves in position to win this series over the A's. They took the first game, but they fell last night. But it wasn't without a late inning fight. Jason Castro said they could have easily given up after going down 7 runs. Brad Peacock having some struggles early in the game, but that wasn't the case. Top of the 8th, Jose Altuve gets them started, legging out an infield single, being the catalyst of the offense that he is. Jason Castro with his second hit of the night. Moving Tuve over, then Chris Carter driving in Altuve with an RBI double. Mark Krause, who was recalled yesterday, joining in, RBI single, and then Robbie Grossman also. Kike Hernandez, the Astros knocked Jim Johnson, the reliever, out of the game. Got to a couple of their relievers in that inning. They posted 5 runs on 6 hits. They pulled within 2 runs, but the lead was just too much. They would fall 9-7. Bo Porter saying immediately after the game, aside from the pitching problems from Brad Peacock, he was very happy with what his offense did there late. He said you can't let the same loss beat you twice. He's hoping that momentum will carry over today as they look to take the series from the Oakland A's. Coming up,
2 walk in, 1 walks out.
The A's certainly earned their championship belt last night, but the Astros have not gone down without a fight all series long. Which team will walk out of HOU.co with a much-needed series win? Ash and Blummer will break it all down for you when we come back.
On Comcast Sportsnet is presented by Jack in the Box. Head to Jack in the Box for the new Jalapeno Ranch or Barbecue Ultimate Cheeseburgers at participating restaurants. We're back in Oakland. It's the 3rd and final meeting of this 3-game set. Final game of the road trip. The Astros, with a win today, would have a .500 trip And so some nice motivation there. Here in the booth, we've got some orange motivation going on, and just enjoying beautiful weather. As Julia was talking about, it is very nice. Blummer has decided to sit up straight. He was kind of hanging out here and enjoying things, and I was going to get into that.
This is where you want to be, but so we got to give the impression that we're working.
Yeah, we've got baseball coming up this afternoon, and I don't know how we start it all. Let's start with Chris Carter. I think Chris Carter has been worthy of commentary here recently. He has been swinging a hot bat, and he was part of the big 5-run 8th inning last night, as were other guys. But that was impressive of this club.
No, Chris Carter's having himself a series. We saw a little bit of a wavering in that numbers he was putting up, but what the Astros are doing when they are aggressive is pretty impressive. And these are numbers in 3 pitches or less per AB. These are the averages between the Houston Astros and Oakland Athletics. And you always talk about how patient Oakland is, but look at those numbers when they attack early. And that tells me that their approach early in counts is to be aggressive on maybe 1 pitch in the strike zone. But if things get past that 3-pitch count, it gets 4+ in a pitch per AB, you can see the numbers drop drastically, not only for the Houston Astros, but for those Oakland Athletics also. That tells you that they're getting deeper into counts, maybe a lot more 2-strike counts, and that's not a good thing for the Houston Astros. Their batting average with 2 strikes on them is a league low, 161. So it was good to see them being aggressive. You saw the graphic earlier, 5 out of those 6 hits in those first 3 pitches. So look for them to be looking on fastballs early, and if it's in the zone, let it rip.
You know, I've got some further numbers on first pitch alone for these 2 ball clubs, and it might surprise a lot of people. First, let's take a look at the Astros starting lineup presented by Jack in the Box. That lineup today for Bo Porter will resemble this. Jose Altuve in the top spot, followed by right fielder Robbie Grossman, and the DH Chris Carter. Middle 3, Mark Krause. He got a hit in last night's return to the club. He's in left. At first, John Singleton, and at third, Matt Dominguez. Carlos Corporon gets the start behind the plate. In center field, Kike Hernandez and Marwin Gonzalez back at shortstop.
On the mound, the newly acquired Jeff Samardzija. He's got 3 starts for the Oakland Athletics. Won 1, lost 1, took a no decision. In his last 3 starts, he's given up 5 home runs, 10 allowed on the season. ERA still under 3. That win-loss record is a little skewed because the Cubs were unable to help him out in run support.
So Jeff Samardzija set to work it. And again, a gorgeous afternoon. Jose Altuve first pitch swinging, and he fouls it back. The Astros on the first pitch, as a club, the entire club this year hitting .381. They have 22 home runs. In each case, batting average and home runs. That first pitch is the very best pitch in the sequence that the Astros have. Altuve takes away. And they also have a .392 on base percentage. So swinging at the first pitch doesn't necessarily take away from their chance to move on and get on base via the walk or whatever the case may be. with Chris. And now 1-2 the count.
Chris Carter's hole is up in the zone.
And it looks like that's what Samardzija has in mind, is trying to stay up a bit with Chris.
Does a good job of hitting the ball from the mid-thigh down in the zone. Got heaters up. Bat speed just isn't there to catch up to it.
1 out just in the first inning. There's that high heater again at 94. Right-hander Jeff Samardzija, 4th start now with the Oakland A's. Well, he figures to make this A's starting staff even better as the pitch is fouled back. Two and two the count. Carter hitting .212 on the year. With the ribbies that we've mentioned for Carter here in the series, now 44 on the year. And now a 3-2 count. Robbie Grossman runs pretty well at first base. We'll see if Robbie's on the move. Of course, Chris Carter, always a threat to strike out. The Astros as a club continue to lead the league in strikeouts. George Springer has struck out at a very alarming rate of 40%. And a throw over from Samardzija. Samardzija gets his sign. Grossman does not go, and the pitch popped up on the right side, foul territory. And there's out number 2. So Stephen Vogt getting the start at first base makes the play. With 2 down, Grossman at first. It brings up Mark Krause. Krause returned to the club last night and had a hit. That came in that big 5-run 8th inning. .175 the overall batting average now for Mark. Robbie Grossman a pretty good lead as he's held on, and the pitch is outside. Trying to stay cool. It is a nice warm afternoon.
I don't know if it's that warm.
Warm is probably the appropriate word. It can get hot in this part of the country. Certainly warmer than the San Francisco side of things. Pitch just popped up left side. Donaldson into foul territory. Glasses gleaming. He'll put it away, and that'll do it. The Astros get the leadoff hit from Altuve, and strand a runner, scoreless after a half. the A's coming up. We're scoreless here in Oakland at the HOU.co. Jeff Blum's former campus. For the Oakland A's, Bob Melvin lines him up with Coco Crisp, John Jason in the top spots, followed by Brandon Moss, Derek Norris, and Stephen Vogt. In the bottom three, Jed Lowry, Josh Reddick, and Eric Sogard.
Yeah, go Bears. Take a look at Scott Feldman for the Houston Astros. 18th start on the season. Looking to creep over that 100-inning pitch mark. Giving up 10 bombs. Left-handed hitters swing the bat quite well out of him at 301. Feldman's actually done some decent things in his last 7 starts. He's had 5 quality starts, and he's gone 6 innings in 11 of those 17 previous starts.
Feldman, first pitch, hit in the air, left center field. Easy for Kike. He'll make the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out.
It's a beautiful day out here at the HOU.co Coliseum, and we're going to see who's going to be trolling around behind Scott Feldman, trying to help his chances of winning this ball game. In left field, Mark Krause, Kike Hernandez in center field again, Robbie Grossman in right around the infield, Domingo at third, Margot at short, Altuve at second, John Singleton at first, and Carlos Corporon behind the plate. And it is important to note, the Astros are 4-0 in his last 4 starts, and he's got a winning record in his 31 starts. He's 16-15.
John Jaso had himself a big night last night. He takes a strike. Waiting on deck, Josh Donaldson. Jaso hitting .289 overall, takes one close but away. And it would be very wise for Scott Feldman to get ahead and stay there on these Oakland hitters. Despite the great numbers we talked about hitting on first pitch, the Oakland A's, with a number of their hitters anyway, like to wait it out, and they will force a pitcher to throw some pitches. Jaso was 3 for 3 last night, had a double, 2 ribbies. He pops it foul on the left side. There have been 100 pop outs here at the HOU.co this year, and I think there would be many more if infielders and corner outfielders could actually get to some of the balls. They simply can't. They've had 99 foul pop outs in Toronto this year. Much smaller foul territory. And now 3-2 the count. Jaso lifetime a .333 mark against Houston. A couple of homers and 11 ribbies. Little chopper is foul. In fact, Jaso to this point has had a perfect series. He's 4 for 4. He went 1 for 1 in the opener. A 3-2 victory for the A's, or rather for the Astros.
It's good managing on Melvin's part to keep him in the lineup.
Just put him in when he's going to get a hit.
Let it go.
Line drive and a leaping grab by Singleton. Very nice play defensively. So the Astros finally get Jaso, but it's not easy.
Saw Singleton do that last night, elevating pretty good to take away a base hit. Does it right here to keep Jaso off the base pass for the first time in this series.
Get up.
Such a luxury as a first baseman and an outfielder to have that massive glove on your hand.
Adds a few inches to the vertical.
Yeah.
In the case of that first baseman's glove, maybe 6 inches. Josh Donaldson stands in. Hitting .242 on the year. Plenty of pop. 21 bombs. American League All-Star this year. 71 RBIs.
Athletics aggressive early against Scott Feldman.
Now the Athletics, like the Astros, have a travel day today, and you wonder, could that play into things at all? Like that last day of spring training.
Now those numbers don't count. These do.
Ground ball right side.
and the A's. The Astros facing Jeff Samardzija for the first time in an A's uniform. Some of these guys faced him last year with the Cubs, including Chris Carter, who said last year it was two-seam and a slider, and that was pretty much all he threw. But when they went to watch video before this series, a lot of them surprised. They're like, who is this guy? He's throwing a cutter now, and so it was something they just have to be aware of. And if you look at his numbers in 2014, fits perfectly to that, throwing the cutter about 10% of the time. The guy's saying to me, this is why we prepare. A lot of pitchers change what they do, and Carter having success off of this guy last year. Hopefully will carry over today, guys.
Thank you, Julia, and great job on the open. John Singleton at the plate. John hitting 184. Six home runs for Singleton. There's that sinking fastball from Samardzija.
I feel like Singleton's a little more conscious about trying to go the other way. We've seen his numbers drop a little bit, but we've also seen a consistent theme from opposing pitchers on John Singleton, with everything being on that outer third of the plate.
Breaks that cutter or slider in, and Singleton with a very quick bat rakes it foul. Samardzija came up originally with the Cubs in 2008. That after being a 5th-round pick in 2006. 2-2 the count. Throws hard, obviously, at 95 with that fastball. Has not put up great one-loss records in the big leagues. He's just 32-43, but you keep in mind that he has spent his time with the Chicago Cubs, and that might explain a lot. Pop up on the left side. Donaldson coming in, battling with the sun. He'll make the catch. Number 1 here in the second. That's a partial view here of the stadium, and they cover the upper tank. Nice crowd on hand last night. They had 28,000 plus. Matt Dominguez at the plate. They have tried and tried, the Oakland A's, to get out of this stadium and move into the San Jose area, but they have run into roadblocks all along the way.
Shocking to me you'd want to leave this gorgeous place.
Until they have the backup with the plumbing down in the clubhouse areas.
Wow, that's character.
Actually, that's probably one of the real positives here. Well, they've had a great history in this ballpark. The Oakland A's just quietly, a lot of years, move along and win the division. Yesterday they had Ricky Henderson, Jose Canseco in the ballpark. We had some terrific players come through. Championship years up there.
Ricky
was being Ricky, wearing the number 24. And the pennant flags hang all over the place. 1-2 now. Matt Dominguez batting with 1 out. He'll be followed by Carlos Corporon here in the second. And of course, this year no different for the A's. They're currently in first place in the American League West, but just a 2-game lead over the Angels. Pitch hit high and fairly deep to left field, but shy of the warning track. Backing under is Moss. He'll make the play. 2 outs. Ricky was represented in a race yesterday, but was he able to hold on and win?
Got to be upset about this. Let's see Raleigh in the stash. You know, he could have gone this way. Chooses to go around the outside.
I never realized that Raleigh had that stride.
He's focusing on his gait since retiring.
Still probably works on the mustache a bit. Carlos at the plate, hitting .254. He's hit with power, 5 home runs. Just an ideal backup catcher. Samardzija brings it. A ball and a strike on Corp. First chance for Samardzija to face the Astros as a member of these Oakland A's. Changeup, and that's a strike.
Nice pitch. First one we've seen from Samardzija.
See that preset splitter grip. So that would be his changeup. And again, this one popped up. Donaldson staying busy with the pop-ups, and foul territory makes the play. A 1-2-3 second inning, 6 in a row retired by Samardzija. We're scoreless.
No score between the Astros and the A's. Longhorn alumni and fans, join us on August 2nd for University of Texas Night. We will create an experience your group is sure to remember. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS or email groupsales@astros.com. You know, Blummer, it reminds me of what you said last night. I didn't have a chance to respond.
Yeah, you were so quiet. I thought you were just going with it, but I thought your ties to UT were a little bit stronger.
I just remembered what you said last night. I'm not happy about it.
Oh, well, UT has problems with misremembering things, don't they?
Oh, goodness.
Sorry.
And I'm out.
Good talk, Julia. My bad.
On that note, we'll move to the bottom of the second inning. Scoreless game. Scott Feldman works it to the cleanup man, Brandon Moss. He'll be followed by Derek Norris, the catcher, and Stephen Vogt. And the first pitch here in the bottom of the second inning. Breaking ball finds the inside edge. It's a 6-game, 7-day road trip for the Astros, closing out today. Started with 3 games in Chicago. The Astros lost the first couple and then came back and won that final game before heading to Oakland. 11-7 was the final. The Astros downing the White Sox. Astros had a big day offensively. Houston moved into Oakland, had an off day, and then in 12 innings down the A's in the opener 3-2 before falling last night 9-7. Strikeout, the throw down to first base as Corpy records the out, and out number 1. First strikeout now for Scott Feldman.
A lot of breaking balls to Brandon Moss in this series, and this one a good one from Scott Feldman. We know he throws a ton of them.
Catcher Derek Norris will stand in. Norris has had a very good year. 1 for 4 in the series. And again, finding the strike zone is Scott Feldman. Wise ploy against these A's. Derek Norris, one of the guys who likes to take a lot of pitches. Norris did not play in yesterday's game, went 1 for 4 in the opener. It's a ball and a strike. Just the 18th meeting against the Astros for Norris over his career. 295 mark. Has never homered against Houston pitching. Does have 3 doubles and 3 ribbies. One and 2 the count. Corpy with that perfect job to block the breaking ball. Get that little half swing or the full swing for that matter. And want to make sure you've got the ball in front. Shift on. 3 infielders on the left side. Only Singleton on the right. Fastball, little looper, shallow center field. It's going to drop. First hit of the afternoon for the Oakland A's. Comes with 1 out and brings up the first baseman, Stephen Vogt. Got some great sounds coming from the sound system here in Oakland. Vogt hitting .355, 1 for 6 here in the series. Makes the fastball high. A couple of stolen bases in 3 tries on the year for Derek Norris, so not a big threat to run. He's held on by Singleton. Feldman, however, has given up a lot of stolen bases. Vogt swings through it. 16 of the last 17 attempts against Feldman have been successful. That over his last 10 starts. And Feldman has not had great memories here at the O.co.
He's putting it very nicely.
1-5, 8.39 the ERA here. That in 11 career games. It's the second highest ERA for any pitcher with at least 35 innings here in Oakland. Darren Oliver actually has the worst. 8.45, so pretty close battle there. Two balls and 2 strikes on Vogt. Jeff Blum will not be joining us for our lengthy flight back to Houston this evening. He will be jetting it down to Southern Cal. Curveball shot by Singleton into right field. Solidly hit. Vogt with the base hit. Robbie Grossman has some troubles getting it back in, but first and third for the A's. 1 out for Jed Lowry.
Yeah, that pitch right there for Scott Feldman. The breaking ball has been getting raked over this month. Batting average against his curveball this month of July is .346. Throwing it a lot more too these days. Good piece of hitting. Got the first baseman pulled in like that at first base, holding on a base runner as a left-handed hitter. It's just an extra hole to shoot for, especially when you get that off-speed pitch that you're going to get around a little bit.
Switch hitting shortstop Jed Lowry steps in. Had a fast start to his season, now hitting .238. 2 for 7 in the series with a dinger. 5 homers on the year for Lowry.
One of those last night. Jumped Brad Peacock on a first pitch fastball.
A ball and a strike. These Oakland A's, their hitters have walked a major league high 376 times this year. Last time the A's finished a year with the most walks in the bigs was 1999. No, it's not like they do it every year. Jason Giambi had 105 walks that year. Remember John Jaha? 101. Ground ball to short. Long run for Altuve. Can't get there in time, but the job done by Marwin. 6 unassisted, 3 on that double play. And that shifting movement for the infield made it tough on this one.
We move to the top of the 3rd, and time for you to tweet your photo using hashtag CSNHFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game broadcast. That is brought to you by AT&T. And while you're tweeting, we have a Twitter question for you, and if you give us a good answer, we'll read some later in the broadcast. Today, it's with Springer out, who just went on the DL yesterday. Who becomes the Astros' most dependable source for RBI? It's a good question. Tweet us. We'll read some later in the game, guys.
Thanks, Julia. Had a bad day here in Oakland, and a lot of anticipation heading back home to Houston. Big road or homestand rather coming up for the club. Miami Marlins coming in for 3. They'll be followed by these Oakland A's, and 4 with the Toronto Blue Jays. So 10 games coming up. Make your plans to join us. We would love to see you at Minute Maid Park. Kike Hernandez hits the first pitch in the air to left field, and that's handled by Brandon Moss. 1 pitch, 1 out. And we check in again with Miss Julia.
Hey guys, Marwin Gonzalez coming up here. Just a reminder, this guy is not playing 100%. We found out last night he's dealing with a sore right hamstring. Kind of came up when he was running the bases in Chicago, just playing through it. Bo said it's really a big concern for us. He's kind of given him permission not to bust it up the line if it's not necessary, and they're just hoping to keep him off the DL right now.
And he really had to bust on that double play. That was well set up by Marwin. Even the chance, as Altuve had a long ways to come to get to the bag, never could get there. In fact, without Marwin making the play by himself, there would have been no shot at a double play.
It's not easy playing shortstop with a bad hamstring.
I think when you've got a hammy type of an injury, it's the first couple of steps that'll get you anyway. So clearly Marwin was doing all he had on that play. Pitch just popped up. Talk about busy down at 3rd. Josh Donaldson trying to create a body angle with that sun and use his glove. When it's all said and done, he makes the catch. It's already 4 pop-ups to 3rd for the Astros hitters.
5 total on the game. Samardzija was a sinker ball guy.
Now batting, number 27, HOU AT OAK.
And the reason Marwin has to play shortstop is because the outfield has been decimated by injuries. That's Kike Hernandez is a guy who could fill in at shortstop, and now he has to play center field. Not many options around that outfield right now, especially with George Springer on the DL.
Jose Altuve owns the only Astros hit of the day. He takes a strike. Altuve was then thrown out at second, part of the fielder's choice. Robbie Grossman tried to lay down a bunt in that first inning and left it right at the plate for Derek Norris. Slider moves on to the backstop. Samardzija, and we've talked about it, just 3-8 on the year with a 2.91 ERA. Only the second pitcher in the live ball era since 1920 to have 3 or fewer wins in his first 20 starts of a season, despite an ERA below the 3 mark. So he's pitched well, but not much to show for it. 2-1 the count.
And his ground ball percentage is at 51% this year. Astros maybe trying to cut off that sinker a little bit, getting out in front, popping it up.
Well, if you're going to drive a ball out of the ballpark here in Oakland or anywhere on the West Coast for that matter, not a bad ploy to go after it during day games. Jeff Samardzija, since coming over from the Cubbies,
just continuing to do what he does. You know, the run support really wasn't there for him while he was in Chicago. They're expecting big things from Jeff Samardzija here on the first place Oakland Athletics rotation.
Out on the hands of Altuve. 3-2 the count. And of course, Samardzija was one of the 3 finalists for the Bolitnikoff Award, both in 2005 and 2006, his junior and senior years at Notre Dame. Excellent wide receiver.
A couple of slouches beat him out.
Yeah. Calvin Johnson, a slouch. Strike 3 called. Altuve caught looking, and it's hard to believe the number of strikeouts that Jose has been racking up lately. We're scoreless.
Score here at HOU.co. And if you're watching, make sure you follow along on Astros in-game live. You can log on to CSNHouston.com and find it there. Follow the enhanced Bloomberg stats that they have for you there, and also vote for player of the game. That will be revealed during Astros postgame live. Guys.
Yeah, thanks, Julia. We go on to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Well pitched so far. A couple of tall right-handers going at it here this afternoon. Scott Feldman and Jeff Samardzija.
Oh, and that's right. You hear it in the background, folks. That's a careless whisper.
Don't start sliding that chair closer to me, Plummer.
No, I got further away. Trust me.
Yeah.
Okay. Josh Reddick trying to get everybody in the mood.
That's the walk-up song for Josh Reddick. That's pretty
Did you see the
classic?
He tweeted out. He's a big tweeter.
Yeah, that's why I like it so much.
Got some retweets from the fans encouraging him to play a Careless Whisper, and he went with it.
That's good stuff. Shoots one foul down the right side, a ball and a strike. And that's when you're secure with yourself, when you can do something like that.
Used to have competitions with Hunter Pence on who could play the goofiest walk-up song in Houston when we played together.
Who won?
He usually won out. He was way more creative than I could be.
Do you recall any walk-up songs he had?
It was like Miley Cyrus or somebody at the time, like, you know, Party in the USA or something really cheesy and goofy, but you know, he embraced it and always endears yourself to the fans when you can do stuff like that. Get some awkward looks from opposing teams, though.
Well, at least the other players get it. I imagine a lot of the fans don't really get it. And
well, could you imagine if he didn't explain himself before he came up to Careless Whisper? If he just strolled out and just this is my song.
Well, see, now that would be secure, is just going out there and not explaining at all.
Yeah, exactly. Just ambush him.
What did you come up with?
I had at the time there was a band called LaRue, I think it was called. But there was just I can't remember the name of the song. I'd have to look it up. But he dared me on that one, and I followed through on it and proceeded to go about 0 for 12, and that was a short-lived walk-up song.
That's become such a big part of players these days. What is your walk-up song?
Sure has.
Shift on 3 on the right side. Reddick fouls it back on the 3-2. Yeah, Careless Whisper. That's kind of nice. Kind of wins me over for the moment.
Big George Michael fan?
Well,
or is that Wham? Is that
if you're talking about dropping some cheesy on everybody, that runs it right to the top of the list for me right now. Line shot to left field, diving. Krause can't come up with it. Kike Hernandez backing up. Into second is Reddick. So Careless Whisper has picked up a double to start things here in the third inning.
Well, I think that song's at least going to stick around for one more AB. It's a good start. Quality at bat from Reddick, too. Fouling off some tough pitches. Finally gets on top of this one and drives it the other way. Mark Krause, not the fleetest of foot out there, gave it his best effort. Pretty good job by Kike coming all the way around to back him up. That's just instinct for me on Kike. I know a lot of guys are being trained that way to go over there and back up, but he's got a nose for the ball.
You also find a lot of guys who may be trained to do that, just standing in position. But Reddick in scoring position for the 9-hitter, Eric Sogard. Hitting .201 on his year. Infield drawn in on the corners, Singleton and Matt Dominguez. Corcoran out to the mound. Sogard in the series did not play in the opener. Last night went 2 for 4 and scored a run. That guy was almost the image of Major League Baseball.
I thought he got it. Nerd power.
I think in the end, well, I'll go with you on that then. A ball and a strike.
There it is. Not too much power coming out of that second base spot for Bob Melvin, manager of the A's. Only one home run from their second baseman this year.
Two and one the count. Yeah, I kind of like the effort there by Mark Krause in left field. Had he made that play, it would have been spectacular.
It's a tough decision for outfielders on the low line drive, especially leading off the inning.
And now 3-1. Not a man you want to walk. Top of the order to follow, Crisp and Jaso.
Really not a guy you should walk at 201 on the season.
Hitting .294 against the Astros this year in 17 at-bats. But Feldman walks him. So the first two hitters reach here in the third. And now to the top with Coco Crisp.
Bring the home family out every Sunday home game at Minute Maid Park this season for Family Sundays, presented by Kroger with the Astros. Take advantage of the Kroger Family 4-pack for only $70 this Sunday when the Astros take on the Miami Marlins. For tickets, call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit Astros.com.
Feel free to dance at home.
Can't help but dance, can you?
Well, I could think of other options while watching that, but dancing is certainly an option. Coco Crisp flied to center field in the first inning. Now, Scott Feldman having a tough time throwing the breaking ball for a strike, so that means that Corpy needs to go to the mound.
Again.
Let's see, what did we say last time?
That's not a sabermetric stat that they're keeping track of, visits to the mound.
Actually, it may be.
I'd like to see it because I think the Astros would be leading in that department for sure.
Certainly among the leaders. Long baseball has become very much in vogue. .277 the average for Coco Crisp. Bluffs a bunt, takes a close pitch for a ball. It's 2-0. Josh Reddick had that leadoff double. Eric Sogard drawing the walk. Still a scoreless game. The A's trying to change that. On the 2-0, Coco Crisp hits a pop fly to left field. That'll be handled by Krause. Out number one as the runners hold.
Coco doing Feldman a favor on that one.
Yep. And a surprising favor.
Yeah, Coco normally taking a lot of pitches.
Brings up the two-hitter, the DH, John Jaso. Carlos Corporon with those signs that indicate what will happen in the event the runners take off. That first out, a big one with the runners not moving up. And now a chance to get the double play in the infield. Marwin Gonzalez playing right in that slot between Reddick and the bag at second. First pitch in for a called strike on Jaso, who again has been perfect here in the series until lining out to first base. He hit a rope in that first inning, going up to haul it in, John Singleton. One ball, one strike. John Jaso, one of the guys that came over from Tampa Bay here to play with the A's. 30 years of age. Fouls it left side. It's 1-2 on Jaso. Originally drafted by Tampa Bay, a 12th rounder. You find these guys that are not high draft picks that make it to the bigs, and now Carlos Corporon wants everybody to watch once again. The signs have changed. Here's what we're going to do. And of course that comes from the dugout. Runners bluff, and then Feldman steps off. Each runner, Reddick and Sogard, taking a step, maybe even two for Sogard. It appeared they were going to go on the move with that pitch. Should be very easy for Feldman to hold the runner at second. Reddick, Marwin playing right in there at the bag. And down on strikes is Jaso. So he's been retired twice here this afternoon. That's the second strikeout picked up by Feldman. 2 outs, and Josh Donaldson comes to the plate.
I think that's why the runners are flinching. Maybe they do have the sequence from Corcoran and saw that a breaking ball was coming. And with 2 strikes, pitchers try and bury that. Takes a little bit longer for it to get to home plate. Good time to run. But an excellent pitch from Scott Feldman getting that breaking ball.
Josh Donaldson grounded out to first. That in the first inning.
Please hold.
Time for Corcoran to come out and flash signs once again.
How different can they be?
Sometimes that set of signs sends the message that we don't want any infielder to move. Stay in position. We'll let the runners go. Right, just one of the options. Curveball bends low.
Well, really the only thing you can say right there is now that a right-handed hitter up and Josh Donaldson, big swinging Josh Donaldson, just leave the third baseman back. Don't let him worry about covering third on a steal.
So maybe the throw could go into second base just automatically. Want to know the count. Breaking ball drilled through the hole on the right side with that semi shift on. Throw to the plate way offline as the run scores. And now a throw down to first base. A good throw would have likely gotten his man. But that throw not a good throw. The A's take the early 1-0 lead. RBI hit by Josh Donaldson.
That was another throw from Robbie Grossman. That's the second time we've seen in this series here at the Coliseum where he's gone into Ray Guy mode and just punted one over the catcher's head at home plate. Great piece of hitting on this slider on Josh Donaldson, staying on top of it and going the other way with it. Easy for Gallego to choose to send Reddick home with 2 outs. I think he would have scored easily anyways, but that ball well over the head. Gutsy throw from Feldman going back to first base too.
72 RBIs now for Donaldson.
Pretty good reaction from Feldman after calling for the fair catch to come up firing.
Not many guys in the NFL actually accomplish that feat. It's kind of one of those college ploys, I think.
Yeah, he didn't, that's a preset lateral.
You know, on that play, Josh Donaldson, one of the, I would say, numerous good hitter category guys this year that with a full shift or a portion shift with the runners going here, pitch inside, and no shot whatsoever. Josh Feldman has just yielded a couple of more stolen bases, so he continues to be run on at alarming rates. And now 2 runners in scoring position. But as we watch this play, I'll get back to it.
Now, we talked about Coco Crisp and some of the things he was doing last year. He stole a lot of bases off the Astros with incredible jumps, but Scott really slow to home plate, and the Athletics again picking up on something that Scott Feldman's doing that's allowing them to try and get these big jumps.
Well, that's just literally as easy as it gets. You can see with the jumps there. For Donaldson, he's 4 for 4 in stolen bases. And for Eric Sogard, that's his 8th bag in 10 tries. And the pitch gets by Corcoran to the backstop. That'll score a run. And in the process, move a man to third base. 2-0 A's on top. So Carlos Corcoran, who has been so good at blocking pitches, has this one slip by.
This inning is turning into a blocked punt for the Astros. Glove just knocked down.
Yep.
Wild pitch on that one. That's normally a ball you see Carlos Corcoran blocking pretty well, but
totally agree.
For whatever reason, that 5-hole wide open without the glove down.
You can see he just never did get down. And like you say, the glove up. 5-hole presented, 5-hole taken, and now the intentional pass of Brandon Moss. Got to put runners at first and third for Derek Norris. So you walk the left-handed bat to get the right-handed bat of Norris. It goes as the intentional. But I was saying of Josh Donaldson, I felt like he did what we've seen a lot of guys do this year. RBI situation presented with a wide open side of the field, just kind of shooting that way.
Well, I agree. I think big league hitters can recognize that situation, and especially in RBI situations. But at the same time, you have the shift on the right-handed hitter with everybody on the left side of the infield, yet you go out there and you throw a slider on the outside third. That's an easy pitch for him to go the other way with and try and shoot that hole.
Been a point of mine all year, and I just think it presents a great opportunity to take advantage. 2-0 A's here in the third inning.
Well, I got to play with Carlos Lee and some other guys that, big RBI guys, but Carlos Lee, 6'5", 260, big home run threat. But when guys were on second or third base, he was consistently up the middle the other way, doing a good job of letting the ball travel and get deep and drive in those runs.
Strike on the outside corner on Norris. Norris has skewed decidedly to hitting left-handers this year. He's .360 against the lefties, and against the righties .246. That shift on once again. Altuve playing right behind the bag at second. So a wide open right side, and he shoots to the right side. Base hit. That'll drive in a run. 3-0 A's. Digging for third is Brandon Moss. And so you present it to these Oakland A's, and they're just shooting at it.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see the replay. I know initial glance when we were watching it is Castro set up on that outside corner, or Carlos Corcoran setting up on that outside corner again. But these pitches up, too. But hitters know where those holes are at. And you get a pitch up out over the plate like the last two hitters have. Really not much thought process goes into it. Just take a pass at it and go with it.
Well, it's a good A's club, and they show you a lot of reasons. Still 2 out. Stephen Vogt at the plate.
That ball's hit 6 inches to the right, then it's in Singleton's glove. But
yeah.
And you look like a genius.
There's always that aspect, but what you have seen in the inning is both Donaldson and Norris seemingly intentionally shooting toward the big hole. Pitch in the dirt. 3 runs on 5 hits for the A's. No runs on 1 hit for the Astros. Game right at about an hour old. We're in the bottom of the third inning. Stephen Vogt had a base hit, his only at bat. That came in the second. Ground ball back up the middle. Marlins right there. And makes the play. That'll do it for the A's in the third inning. They send 8 to the plate, 3 cross, and they lead it 3-0.
TNT Rewind. Look back at Notre Dame days for Jeff Samardzija, wearing number 83, quality wide receiver for quarterback Brady Quinn. Put up some great numbers. HOU said that he was one of the 3 finalists in 05-06 for the Biletnikoff Award as a top wide receiver in college football. Putting up some pretty incredible numbers, 179 receptions, 27 touchdowns. Now he's a big league starting pitcher, all-star starting pitcher in Major League Baseball.
Looks like a guy who might have run track as a hurdler. Don't know if that's the case.
He's a big dude too, man.
Shark.
That's one way to simplify Samardzija.
Yeah, you can keep trying with Samardzija or just take the easy route. 3-0 A's on top. Robbie Grossman takes the strike. 1-1 the count. Robbie hitting .201. Again, it was Robbie Grossman trying to lay down a bunt following the Altuve base hit to start the first inning. Didn't work out as the bunt stayed right there at the plate. Norris got an out at second base, and they counted 1-2. Robbie appears to be in that taking mode. Pitch is fouled back. 1-2 on Grossman. We talked about up top some of the numbers for the Astros and the A's for that matter. When first pitch swinging, the Astros have had great success. A lot of people don't like it, but they've hit .381 on the first pitch this year, 22 home runs in each case. That is the best of their numbers on the year. Grossman down on strikes. The Oakland A's also at their best mark at .361 on the first pitch, and that goes so contrary to what you think of when you think of the Oakland A's. Chris Carter on the first 3 pitches.
It's a game of adjustments, and for Chris Carter, staying away from those 2-strike counts is huge.
Carter slams one down the left field side at the pole. Watch it. And this one is a fair ball and out of here. Chris Carter has launched one to get the Astros on the board. It's now 3-1. And for Carter, his 20th on the year as he matches George Springer.
What were you saying about first pitch swinging?
Kind of works out sometimes. And for the Astros, 23rd home run on the first pitch this year.
Now batting.
Carter's been swinging a hot bat, having himself a good series. Now that hitting streak getting into that 4 games long now. 7th hit in 4 games. Good to see him get into that inside pitch.
Just did keep it fair. Couldn't tell, did that hit seats? What did that hit right near the foul pole?
I believe it hit the foul pole. Fair foul
did
pole.
hit the foul pole, fair pole.
Yep.
1 out home run for Carter. Mark Krause at the plate. And a strike on the inside edge. Krause just in his 2nd game now since his return to the club, hitting .174. The Oakland A's put their 3 runs on the board in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Had just 3 hits in the inning. Couple of walks, one of those intentional. Ground ball to second, and out number 2 here in the 4th. Now good to see Chris Carter getting that bat going. And by the way, Carter has been pushing the batting average upward with recent successes.
And coming into today, Carter was leading the American League in OPS in July.
It's a good figure. Love to see that. Love to see the power numbers and driving in runs. He's hitting .214 with the home run.
That sounds a little bit crazy for us to be excited about Chris Carter hitting .214, but considering where he came from early in the season,
it's been a ride.
It's been impressive that he's gotten back to that point.
Singleton 0 for 1 on the day, popped to third. There's the good rip. Love to see more of that. One pitch. And as you said earlier, a lot of teams pitching away on Singleton. It's 2-2. And back to Chris Carter and all the numbers, but I love seeing the power start to come out and ability to drive in runs. Again, he's had in his last 4 games, counting today, 5 doubles and a home run. He's had the multi-homer games this year, and that's been nice to see. Tough matchup today for the Astros against Jeff Samardzija. Already his 4th start for the Oakland A's.
He's given up 4 home runs in those 4 starts. Given up 6 home runs in his last 4 starts.
Jason Hamill, the other starter who came over in that same deal from the Cubs. Hamill has had his struggles. Singleton stays alive. Count is full. Matt Dominguez waits on deck.
He's getting plenty of fastballs to hit for me. John Singleton is. He's just.
I agree.
Just missed a couple going straight back. This one kind of flared off to the left, but just those nice firm throwers in the major leagues. We haven't seen him really turn any of them around yet.
That's what I think all of us would have anticipated, is that when he drives some balls, it would be on the fastball. Instead, he strikes out on this one. A couple of strikeouts in the inning, 3 on the afternoon for Samardzija. It's about Chris Carter right now as he launches number 20 to get the Astros on the board.
A's are leading 3-1 over the Astros in the bottom of the 4th. This season at Minute Maid Park, every Friday night home game is followed by spectacular fireworks. presented by Marathon Oil Corporation. The next Friday night fireworks is this Friday after the Astros play the Miami Marlins. Get tickets at 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com.
We go to the A's half of the fourth inning. 3-1 A's on top. Jed Lowry will lead it off. He'll be followed by 8-hitter Josh Reddick and then Eric Sogard. Bottom three in the order. Scott Feldman touched up for all 3 runs in the third. And the first pitch from Feldman in for a strike. Lowry grounded into a double play that ended the second inning. Nicely done by Marwin Gonzalez. Jose Altuve was swung around to the right side so far he could never get to the bag at all, so Marwin had a ways to come, and he did it well to start the double play. The 1-1, and now Lowry down in the count. Feldman brings the 1-2, and the curveball is grounded foul. Lowry with a couple of hits here in the series, 1 for 7 over the first 2 games. Make that 2 for 7, excuse me. One of those a home run. Drills one as he hooks it foul.
It's a late jump by Dan from Danville. But the Astros bullpen had somebody picked out for that foul ball.
The boys have been quiet here in the series.
Yeah, well, they're kind of tucked far away and nowhere near the field.
Line drive foul left side, and speaking of the boys,
there we go. There's Lance from Tracy, California. Nice play. He was Johnny on the spot right there. He's got the infielder's glove. Normally the ball boys down there opt for a little bit larger option. He's got confidence.
He called that line drive right away too. A lot of confidence. Curveball dribbled off the end of the bat. Bare hand effort, Dominguez, and the throw not in time. So a squib base hit by Jed Lowry to start the fourth inning.
Well, that's all you can do as a third baseman, playing deep with the 2-strike count, just a number. Actually pretty impressive. Matt Dominguez came up with that ball so cleanly. Sometimes off that left-handed bat going the other way. It has a nice spin on it. Those big paws from Matt Dominguez.
Nobody out, Lowry aboard. Josh Reddick at the plate. Had a double to left field. That got that 3-run third started. Now lines one down the right field side. Robbie Grossman's going to bobble. That'll enable Reddick to get into second. Into third base is Jed Lowry, and the A's are setting up shop here in the fourth. Nobody out, runners at second and third.
2 for 2 with the careless whisper is Josh Reddick. Pitch right over the middle of the plate. Reddick ready to swing early in the count.
Apparently a double has been ruled on the base hit. Ball kicked around momentarily by Robbie Grossman. So second and third. Eric Sogard at the plate. Infield drawn just about all the way in it. Short and second playing about halfway. Seven hits now for the A's. That one finds the inside corner. Reddick now with just 5 doubles on the year.
Yeah, he's got 187 at bats now.
Yep. Fly ball center field, not deep. Kike coming on. He'll make the catch, tagging at third and holding on the good throw there from Kike Hernandez. Jed Lowry decides, I'll wait for another hitter. So Kike Hernandez has shown enough with his arm strength to be able to keep Jed Lowry at third. One out and back to the top.
Saw Kike airmail a couple in Chicago that led to some extra runs being scored in that series, but now made the adjustment, getting on top. That was an excellent throw.
Well done. And you mentioned Robbie Grossman has had some just ugly throws, quite frankly, recently.
There's a little bit of talk about why didn't Robbie Grossman move into center field. He's got plenty more experience out there in center. Bo Porter was quoted as saying he likes Kike out there because Kike goes the ball so well.
That leaves implications. So Coco Crisp at the plate takes the ball.
You could interpret that how you want.
Yep. Kike in center, shading toward left field. And the left fielder, Mark Krause, playing quite near the line.
Astros going with that modified infield in positioning. See it playing just a couple steps behind that base path, so to speak.
I think it's a good spot. I think it gives the infielders a chance to react and do what they're capable of doing.
Yeah, you're definitely doing that to try and create better angles to get more range, but their initial mindset is if they do get the ball is to get that runner at home plate, to cut that run off. If the runner chooses not to go, then they can go to first base. But even at that depth, their first thought is to get that runner at home plate. Should be a contact situation at third base for Lowry.
Ooh, that pitch is close, but deemed a ball. It's 2-1. I had the opportunity to manage independent ball as well as organizational ball. And independent ball, I'd employ that one, especially when you had the chance for the double play, but you also didn't want to allow a run from third base. 1-out scenario. And I found that it worked very well when you got the slow ground ball. You could still cut off the run at the plate. Otherwise, you could get the double play. Pitch hit in the air, right field. That'll push Grossman back. He'll make the catch. Tagging and coming is Lowry. Sacrifice fly. Moving into third base is Reddick. And now 4-1, the A's lead it. 2 outs for John Jaso.
It's good professional batting by Coco Crisp. Recognizing the infield in, it takes a decent fly ball to score that run.
Yeah, the leadoff infield single by Jed Lowry, followed by the double from Josh Reddick, setting up this inning. And now Scott Feldman would like to keep it right here. John Jaso 0 for 2 has lined out and struck out. He takes a strike. Coco Crisp with 32 ribbies on his year. For Coco Crisp, that's his 5th sac fly of the year. That's second best on these Oakland A's. Might surprise you. Jed Lowry leads the club with 6. Jose Altuve playing in shallow right field. It's a semi-shift on. Huge hole on the center field side of that right side of the infield. And now Marwin Gonzalez is going to move in that direction. Well, the full-blown shift is on.
And Feldman's actually been pitching to it with a couple cutters inside.
Yep.
Trying to bring back that sinker one time. Back in there.
3-1 pitch and ball 4. So John Jaso coaches the walk. That'll put runners at the corners. Bring up the 3-hitter Josh Donaldson. It also brings out Brent Strom, the pitching coach. He'll meet with Carlos Corporan and Scott Feldman at the mound. We're in the 4th inning. 4-1 A's on top. Not a long, drawn-out meeting. Just a quick message, although Corporan's going to stay on and chat things over with Feldman. Josh Donaldson is 1 for 2. He's grounded out and then singled in a run. 72nd RBI on the year. That came in the 3rd inning. Also scored a run. Stole a base, his 4th on the year, part of a double steal. Cleanup man Brandon Moss waits on deck. And again, a big right side to shoot for right here, which is exactly what Donaldson did in the 3rd inning.
See what Corporan sets up.
Okay, they're going to work in this time, and there's a strike away. Well, at least the intent is to come in, and that I applaud, because I agree entirely with your comments back in the 3rd inning. If you're going to put the shift on, you better pitch into it.
Well, I'd be thoroughly annoyed if I had moved my position according to where the catcher had set up in the infield, and you miss your spot by 1.5 foot, and you come back and the guy's like, well, why weren't you there to make that play? Well, I thought you were going to throw the ball inside. You missed by 1.5 foot, and he hammers it right by me on the other side. But in this day and age, with all the analysis, there's a reason those guys are moving in that direction. Yep. So pitch into the shift.
And again, the Astros, well, initially it looked like Corp was going to set that way. 3-1 the count. But if you can't eventually throw strikes, it doesn't matter. All becomes a moot point.
How about Josh Donaldson on his career? 2 outs, runners in scoring position, hitting .304.
Over a career, that's a rather impressive mark. 3-1 pitch and ball 4. Back-to-back walks. That'll load him up. And now the cleanup man, Brandon Moss, comes to the plate. Still quiet in the Astros pen, although a little body loosening going on.
81 pitches for Scott on the afternoon, and of course we're going to go out there and have another conversation. Corporan trying to iron things out, see how he wants to work Brandon Moss. Breaking balls have been working pretty good. Got him in that first at bat, swing and miss for the strikeout on a breaking ball.
How would you feel about a limitation on visits to the mound by a catcher?
I'm all for putting earpieces in everybody's helmets.
Yeah.
And
that would be
ears
good.
And
yeah.
Bluetooth connectivity these days, and get a nice mobile contract and talk it out that way.
Cease all these incessant meetings at the mound.
Well, it's just a matter of time before they cut down and only allow catchers to go out there maybe once an inning too.
Shift on the right side, and they work it in as the pitch is taken for a strike.
It's been a high zone, high strike zone.
Behind the plate this afternoon, Paul Schreiber, Mike Everett down at first. Adam Homari's at second, and the crew chief Alfonso Marquez at third. And now 0-2 the count. Brandon Moss has struck out and been walked intentionally in the 3rd. While that infield shifts to the right side, the outfield moves toward left field. 4 walks issued by Scott Feldman, 1 intentionally eventually. Of course, that was intentional after 3 balls. So it has not been an overly sharp afternoon as the A's lead it 4-1. Feldman walked 3 his last couple of starts. Brings the 1-2. Ground ball off the fist. Fair ball handled by Singleton. He'll take the bag himself and get the out. And that'll do it. The A's leave 3 as they pick up 1 in the 4th inning. 4-1. Oakland on top.
Come to Minute Maid Park to honor the Astros of the past. Excuse me, I'm reading about the legends, but I should be talking about Jason Derulo, a big post-game concert that's coming up this Saturday when the Astros take on the Marlins at 6:10. For tickets, call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com. But we'll have more on that Legends weekend later in the game, guys.
We'll listen to anything from you, Julia. How you enjoying things here in the sun?
Ooh, it's warm today.
I bet it is.
But I'll take it. This is great.
Did you get cold the last 2 nights?
I did. A little chilly. It's the Texas in me.
How come you haven't been out dancing with the I don't know what to call them out there in right field?
Well,
the bleacher creatures.
Bleachers, yeah, that'll work. The head banging might be a little much for me.
See if you can make it happen later in the game. We go to the 5th inning. Matt Dominguez leads it off. Matty D flied to left field in the 2nd. Jose Altuve and Chris Carter with the only Houston hits on the day. Fly ball to right field, moving back and over toward the line is Reddick to make the play. 1 up, 1 down in the 5th inning.
Now batting, number 22, Carlos.
Yeah, people can say the Oakland A's are working the counts today, but what they've done in reality is just not swing at balls, and Scott Feldman has had a hard time throwing strikes consistently. Corpy stands in 0 for 1, popped to 3rd in the 2nd inning. Kike Hernandez waits on deck. 3rd and final game of the series. And the rubber game. But also crucial for the Astros in that they have a chance to go 3-3 on this road trip. But it takes a victory here this afternoon. And again, going back home for a big homestand. 3-0 the count. Miami Marlins, Oakland A's, and Toronto Blue Jays, 4 with the Jays. 10 games coming up before heading out for just 3 to Philadelphia. 3-1 the count. The Astros still have a couple of lengthy road trips remaining on their schedule. Starting August 14th, they'll head to Boston for 4, on to the Yankees for 3, and Cleveland for 3, so a 10-gamer there. And then in early September, 9 games on the road. Ground ball left side. That is to Donaldson. He'll take his time, make the play to throw out Corpy, and 2 outs. And now look at our upcoming schedule presented by Progressive. And there you go, 3 with the Marlins, 3 with the A's, 4 with the Blue Jays coming in, a 10-gamer. Don't you dare miss your chance to come on out to Minute Maid Park and take in some great Astros baseball. Good teams coming in.
I'm still a little disappointed that Springer's not going to be in that Miami series. I wanted to see a little Stanton-Springer home run matchup.
Well, that would have been fun. And you will be on the beach taking in every pitch.
I'm going to do my best to work on my skin tone. I'm going to work on my waves chased to caught ratio.
What size board?
Oh, this thing's a beast. I've got a borderline canoe. It's about 10 feet.
A couple of sliders has the count at 0-2.
I'm not trying to impress anybody, Ash. I'm just out there for a good time.
It's called wave riding, not surfing when you do that.
It's more lounging on the waves.
It's all right. It's all about just enjoying it. 0-2 pitch. Ground ball to short. 2 hops at short for Lowry. Couple of outs here in the 5th inning.
Your Houston sports news covered with Sportsnet Central weeknights at 6, 10, and midnight only on Comcast Sports Net. In case you missed it, a couple of days ago, right-hander Colin McHugh made a rehab start for AAA Oklahoma City. All went well there, so he is scheduled to return to the team. When that is undecided, Bo Porter said they were going to make a decision when they go through the rotation. Brett Oberholzer, his place in the rotation up in the air, but pitching really well. Bo Porter made interesting comments after that, saying all these guys are kind of pitching for their jobs right now. I think he's putting a little pressure on all of his starters right now, guys.
Scott Feldman works it into the 5th inning. And does pressure serve the positive or not? For some guys, clearly it does. First pitch, drilled to left field. Going back is Krause. Nice jump as he reads it well, and out number 1.
It was a taser.
Derek Norris hung out that taser. It'll bring up 6th hitter, first baseman Stephen Vogt.
My good teammates Vizcaíno back in the day would say, "Blimey, that was a bullet." That was well struck.
What's Viz doing these days?
He's probably shooting about 2 over par, maybe, consistently.
Good golfer?
Yeah, great golfer down in San Diego. I think last time I saw him, he was still living down there.
Vogt takes a strike. He's 1 for 2 with a base hit in the second. 3 runs in the third for the Oakland A's. 1 more in the 4th inning as they've mounted their 4 runs. The Astros' lone run came in the 4th, a solo home run with 1 out by Chris Carter. Seven hits for the A's, just 2 for Houston. Shift on defensively. Pitching away from it is Feldman as he misses. Feldman works it with Corpy this afternoon, the 2-1. And now 3-1. Again, 4 walks issued by Feldman. Easy to say that 1 was intentional, and it was, but it came intentional after 3 balls. 3-2 the count.
I'm not sure it would have taken that pitch in a 3-1 count.
Ground ball to the left side. The only man there is Matt Dominguez. He'll make the play. 2 up, 2 down here in the 5th. So that goes as a 5-3. It brings up Jed Lowry. Lowry is grounded into a double play and then picked up an infield single. That kick started the run that was scored in the 4th inning. The A's left the bases loaded in that frame. And that first pitch fouled down the left side. Feldman nearing the end of the line. I believe that's 93 pitches now for Scott. Jeff Samardzija on the other side has needed just 64 pitches as he has not walked a man. Line drive dropping in left field, drops in front of Krause. Tried to get a jump on it, just could not get to it. Jed Lowry has his 2nd hit of the afternoon. Brings up Josh Reddick.
Oh yeah. Get a nice look at good piece of batting.
Sweet tunes here on 104.3.
Right in front of Mark Krause, bringing to the plate Josh Reddick.
Reddick, with those tunes, is 2 for 2. A pair of doubles on the year. He started this series with 3 doubles on his year. He's added 3 doubles to it. Feldman brings the 0-1, and now in front 0-2. Snap throw from Carlos Corporan. And that one in the dirt. Corpy with a nice job.
That was a good stop. That didn't look like any fun.
A few other games going on. In fact, they're finals in Major League Baseball. All played back east. The Yankees defeated the Texas Rangers 4-2 the final. What about those Texas Rangers?
Jerome Williams is going to be starting for them tomorrow. Or Friday, sorry. Is that tomorrow?
Swing and a miss. Down on strikes Reddick. And Scott Feldman gets through the 5th inning. A's have a hit, leave a man. They lead it 4-1. on Comcast Sportsnet is presented by TXU Energy. Get TXU Energy free nights, free electricity all year long. Now with even more free hours, call 1-866-CALL-TXU. And by AT&T Uverse TV. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT, mobilizing your world. It's a 4-1 Oakland lead. And a beautiful day here in the Oakland area.
Good to see the kids out and enjoying it. There's probably some summer camps going on.
9-1-2 coming up here in the 6th for Houston. Marwin Gonzalez starts things and takes a strike. Samardzija has been throwing strikes, has not walked a man. Big right-hander brings it, and the breaking ball fouled off. He gets in front 0-2 on Marwin Gonzalez. Only hits Jose Altuve, a first inning single. And then Chris Carter, with one out in the 4th inning, launched a bomb, his 20th to left field. And that's the only Houston run of the afternoon. Ground ball hit to second. 2 big hops. Sogard is right there. And out number 1. Altuve will stand in. 1 for 2 on his day. Caught looking in the 3rd inning.
Now batting, number 27, Jose Altuve.
.337 that batting average for Jose. Just 3 homers on the year. Offers on the slider. It's 0-1. Very surprising strikeout totals recently for Altuve. Had 2 in yesterday's game, 1 in the opener in the series, and now has the count at 0-2. In the White Sox series, he struck out 5 times, and in fact in the opener had a 3 strikeout game, that his high on the year. So it's been a little different look for Jose. 9 strikeouts since the All-Star game and make it 10. Well, apparently that pitch in the dirt and the out recorded down at first base. So 10 times since the All-Star break, Jose Altuve has struck out.
Still hitting .337, .336. But yeah, a little alarming for Astro fans that are used to watching Altuve put the ball in play pretty consistently. And he's not one of those guys that really gets to those 2 strike counts that often. He likes to swing early and often.
And for Jeff Samardzija, 4 strikeouts on the day. 2 down here in the 6th inning. Robbie Grossman at the plate has grounded into a fielder's choice and struck out. He takes a strike. Robbie hitting an even .200 as he stands in. Lines the slider into center field. Hit number 3 for Houston. 2-out single will bring up Chris Carter.
Time now for the 3M inside the lines. Scotch blue. Painter's tape. It's Chris Carter turn on that pitch off Jeff Samardzija for that home run on the first pitch that he saw. See those numbers earlier on the graphics saying that Chris Carter's numbers are very high when he's swinging early in the count. And in July, numbers by pitches, you see 3 or less. He's doing a great job. That average jumping to 471.
And those numbers did not include the first pitch homer hit today by Chris Carter. He takes a first pitch fastball right there for a strike. 0-1 the count. Samardzija just breezing with the 73 pitches.
Chris's home runs, 14 to left field, 2 to center, 2 to right field, and now 15 to left field. 41 of his hits to left field, 16 up the middle, 5 the other way.
He had a couple of spells last year where he started hitting the ball to right center. Looked like he was really finding himself, but it never lasted a long time.
He's shaving numbers off that whiff percentage. You know, he is capable of swinging and missing quite often, but shaving almost 10 points off that whiff percentage here in the last month of July. Doing a great job.
Lines one to right field. Reddick comes on and makes the play. Ball hit well by Carter. Nothing to show for it. The Astros get a hit from Grossman, strand him, and they're down 4-1.
MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 12 years. Join the millions of subscribers who watch every out-of-market game live in true HD on over 400 devices. Visit Astros.com for details. Get a beautiful shot right here. The Campanile right in the heart of the campus at UC Berkeley. And 3 wonderful years playing there for the Golden Bears. Just to the east of there is Memorial Stadium. Gorgeous campus, good times, good teammates. We didn't have days like this too often up there in Berkeley, though.
No,
this is beautiful. We actually had a couple games get fogged out.
I would have thought you had a lot of days like this.
No, right on the bay right there. It's still pretty chilly.
Eric Sogard leads it off. He's the 9-hitter. We're in the 6th inning, 4-1 A's. And the count at a ball and a strike. He'll be followed by Coco Crisp and John Jaso. Scott Feldman works it with right-hander Anthony Bass, loosening in the pen. Pitch in for a strike. Sogard showing bunt. Well, again, until you show these A's that you're going to find the strike zone and stay there, they're just going to keep working it and working it. Two and two the count. For Sogard, just a .200 batting average. He has not homered on the year. Just 10 RBIs. Hasn't exactly had things go his way. The face of the Oakland A's. And now 3-2. Corporon asked for the appeal. Comes back, palms down. Three-two pitch. And drawing the leadoff walk, Eric Sogard. Walk number 5 now issued by Scott Feldman. And he got ahead and had a couple of strikes on Sogard. Top of the order, Coco Crisp will stand in. He's 0 for 2, but has driven in a run with a sac fly in the 4th inning. Matt Dominguez draws in on the third base side. Good lead by Sogard. And timeout called at the plate.
Next pitch will be 105 for Scott. Last outing against the White Sox, went 7 innings, giving up 3 earned runs. Took the loss. The Astros lost that game 3-2, but he threw 109 pitches in those 7 innings.
416 the previous outing. Brings a strike.
That was only in 5 1/3 innings.
Yep. That against the Boston Red Sox in Houston. Today's game makes 7 consecutive outings now for Feldman with at least 100 pitches. So he's right where he's rather familiar, you would think. The 0-1, that's taken for a strike. 0-2 the count. One thing the Astros have found offensively is that when they get a couple of strikes on him, it has not worked out. Again, they lead the league in strikeouts. They led a year ago. 1-2.
As a team, they're almost striking out 26% of the time.
Yeah, it's alarming.
I think that alarm's been going off for a while now.
Out of the box and still waiting to get in is Crisp, and now gets a foot back in. Again, Sogard with the lead. Line drive, that'll drop in left field right off the end of the bat. Hit number 9 for the Oakland A's. A walk and a single. Runners at first and second for the 2-hitter John Jaso.
Yeah, the A's aren't exactly ripping the cover off the ball against Scott Feldman. They're just finding the right locations. Reddick has a couple doubles on the day, but again, another base hit. Just kind of flipped out there to left field. A lot of walks on the day. A lot of pitches being thrown. This just seems to be what the Oakland Athletics do to Astros pitching over the last 2 years, just annoying the heck out of them by taking a lot of pitches and getting timely hitting.
So Sogard the lead runner. Crisp at first. John Jaso 0 for 2, but he has drawn a walk, and first pitch swinging for the first time. Swings and misses. In the American League, not one single club at the start of play today is averaging a full 5 runs a game. The LA Angels still lead in that category, right behind these Oakland A's. And a ball and a strike. Houston Astros bring up the bottom at 3.9 runs a game. And 1-2. The Oakland A's are just below the league average in terms of batting average as a club, 253. And now 2-2. Feldman, even when he does get ahead, doesn't seem to have an answer to finish off a hitter. Anthony Bass continues to loosen.
Take a peek at that AL West standings. Athletics on top by 2 over the Angels. That offense starting to spark a little bit. Some bullpen help with Houston Street coming over. How about the Mariners adding Kendrys Morales to that lineup? Justin Smoke getting sent out.
And another foul ball, long chase for Krause. He'll come up empty. Now it stays at 2-2. So the Seattle Mariners start the day in 3rd place in the American League West, 9.5 games back of these front-running Oakland A's, 7.5 back of the Angels. But for Seattle, still good news because they are the 2nd wild card in the American League.
Yeah, the American League West is just stacking up. Season ended right now, they'd have 3 out of the 5 teams going to the playoffs.
So obviously a tough division that the Astros play in. And ball 3. Scott Feldman a pitch away from loading him up here in the 6th. And again, Jaso simply fouls it off. What is it with some of these guys that just seem like they're intentionally fouling off pitches? You know they're not, but boy, it gives you that impression. Three-2 pitch taken, strike 3 called. So Jaso watches 1 too many, down on strikes. Second time for Jaso on the afternoon. He's 0 for 3. With 1 out, it brings up Josh Donaldson.
Just a good pitch by Feldman. That's all you can do. Locked him up, painting that outside corner.
And now Bo Porter comes out. Pitch count may be the culprit right here. Porter talking with his right-hander. And Feldman is done with the day. Porter points to the bullpen area. That means Anthony Bass will come on. He'll work it with 1 out in the 6th inning and a 4-1 Oakland lead.
Geico quote of the day, and today it's from Dave Stewart. We were a ball club that refused to be beat. We should be recognized with some of the best teams that ever played, in my opinion. That was Dave Stewart on his 1989 Oakland A's, and they were stacked to say the least. Plenty of offense and plenty of great pitching to go along. What a ball club.
At Mark McGuire, Carney Lansford, of course Ricky, Dave Henderson,
Bob Welch, the late Bob Welch was on that ball club.
Dave Parker was even on that club.
Eckersley closing those games out.
Yeah, they were legit. There's no question. Among the great teams of all time, I don't know. That's always debatable. But a lot of good arguments on their side. One out here in the 6th. Runners at first and second. Josh Donaldson is 1 for 2. Had an RBI single in the 3rd inning. Also has drawn a walk. Anthony Bass has the tough assignment.
Right-handers hitting .333 off Anthony.
In his 21st game of the year, and that fastball runs up and in and gets a piece of Donaldson. So he's hit by the pitch. That'll load him up. 1 out for Brandon Moss.
It's one way to get to the left-hander.
Left fielder, 37, Brandon.
So we'll clip that jersey on the way by.
So that first man faced by Anthony Bass hit by the pitch. Brandon Moss now 0 for 2. He drew an intentional pass in the 3rd inning. And the first pitch hit high to right field and deep. Robbie Grossman back at the track, the wall, and this one is out of here. Just getting out. A grand slam for Brandon Moss. And there goes the close ball game. A 4-1 game is all of a sudden 8-1. A's on top.
Well, coming into this game, I know it probably won't count against Anthony Bass's ERA. Those runners, some of those runners were Scott Feldman's, but that bullpen ERA last in the American League at a 4.89. The proverbial nail in the coffin here in the 6th inning. Brandon Moss.
That's one very big swing. You're right. (8-1) A's. It's the 5th grand slam of the year for the A's. And the 3rd by Brandon Moss.
I think they had numbers that he was hitting earlier with the bases loaded. And I think the numbers on the scoreboard here at HOU.co said he was hitting .571 before that grand slam with the bases loaded.
Well, that's going up there with the desire to drive in runs and to get the big swing.
Well, you talked about the runs per game, the batting average for the Oakland A's not being all that exciting to look at, but the timely hitting is what you got to look at. And these guys are getting it done because they get a lot of base runners on the base paths throughout games.
First home run of the ball game for the A's, and they make it count. And by the way, for Brandon Moss, his 23rd long ball of the year. 71 ribbies now. And a 3-1 count on Derek Norris, who's 2 for 3 on his day. The only time the Astros got him, he hung out that shot in the 5th inning to left field. And ball 4. So it just continues. Norris jogs on down to first base. It brings up first baseman Stephen Vogt. Also brings out Brent Strom.
The grand slam will put the Oakland A's ahead of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim for runs scored. It's amazing how similar the Angels and Athletics offensive numbers are. Both hitting 266. That was a 300, right around 350 with runs batted in as a team. Right around that 370 mark with runs scored.
Derek Norris also has a grand slam this year. Josh Reddick has one, but 3 for Brandon Moss this season. Just impressive stuff for these A's. As the first pitch taken for a strike by Stephen Vogt. Vogt 1 for 3 on the day. And that one fouled off. 0-2 the count. Jed Lowry waits on deck. Mentioned that the Yankees have beaten the Texas Rangers. 4-2 is the final from Yankee Stadium, and that curveball just stays way high, kicks away from Carlos Corcoran. Into second base is Derek Norris. It's just gotten kind of ugly.
Corcoran's been getting a workout back there, but that breaking ball right there, I thought it was might have been catchable. I've never, got a couple bullpens in my life, but kind of like to see those grabbed.
Yeah, it's a catchable ball, but I imagine at some point Corpy and Castro have just felt like they're getting abused. Very long games when these two teams match up. Even with Jeff Samardzija throwing strikes. One hopper to second base. Altuve will make the play on to first base. Second out here in the inning. It'll bring up shortstop Jed Lowry. Lowry with a couple of hits and 3 at bats. His day started by grounding into a double play in the second inning, but it's gotten much better. He's had an infield single and a clean hit, scored a run, hitting .242 on his year. Ground ball back up the middle. That finds the hole. That's an RBI single. Puts the A's on top 9-1. Third hit of the day for Lowry. And it just goes on.
Again, early in the count. Some base hits being had. Tell you what, the Oakland A's continue like this, they may adopt Careless Whisper as their team song. Reddick's having himself a day. That was Lowry's third hit, an RBI. Drink it in.
Yeah, let's just.
Oh, they turned it down.
Can't turn up the tunes.
Darn it. It's just getting to the good part.
Just starting to get mellow. Ninth hitter of the inning here in the 6th. Curveball is just not even close.
Really no feel for that one right now.
The inning started with Eric Sogard. He had a couple of strikes on him, 1 and 2 count, and eventually drew a walk. Feldman would last 2 more hitters, and he was gone. Bass came on, and the first thing he throws is a grand slam to Brandon Moss, and it's just taken off. 5-run inning.
4 innings in a row, Reddick has had an at-bat now.
Oh, how about that?
Is that interesting to look down at your scorecard and see an at-bat in the 3rd?
Well, the A's
the 4th, 5th,
8 to the plate.
The 6th.
Yeah, 8 to the plate in the 3rd inning.
It's kind of wild.
7 in the 4th. Then his turn just came along in the 5th as 4 came to the plate. Pops it up on the left side. Matt Dominguez with the long run. He'll make the catch. That'll do it. The A's send 9 to the plate in the 6th. They score 5 times. The big swing, the grand slam by Brandon Moss, his 3rd of the year. It's 9-1.
Lead. Time now to look at our minor league report, brought to you by your local Honda dealer. Down at OKC, you're going to see a couple of guys. The left fielder, Preston Tucker. Yesterday, only went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs, but in the last 36 games at Oklahoma City, he's hitting .290, on base percentage right around .360. That's pretty solid. 7th round pick in 2012. Third baseman Matt Duffy having himself a decent year. .253, 10 home runs on the year. He had one last night in Round Rock. He was the 20th pick back in 2011. A couple of kids making their presence felt.
Yeah, Mark Krause trying to make something happen here in the 7th inning. Jeff Samardzija has gotten a few runs here today. 9-1 A's in the first pitch in the 7th. And Samardzija's been good. He has not walked a man. He's doing his thing on the hill while the hitters are doing theirs. 9 runs, 11 hits. They've had a grand slam. It's a ball and a strike on Krause.
Yeah, he really hasn't been under any stress to speak of, that's for sure.
Well, the Astros have not had more than a hit in any inning. The only hit that's meant anything, a home run by Chris Carter, his 20th on the year. Fly ball to center. Coco Crisp will make that play, and out number 1. Going to bring up 5-hitter John Singleton. The A's start the day 62-38. They lead by 2 over the Angels. Who would you pick to win that West Division outright when it's all said and done?
I like the Athletics. I like the move they made with Samardzija into that rotation where they've already been pretty good. The offense knows how to have some solid ABs and work counts and score runs. And their bullpen is off the charts. Right around 3.01 ERA for that bullpen. So when they do score, it's pretty well locked down.
The bullpen for the A's appeared to get better today.
What were the chances of you saying that with Jim Johnson?
51 saves last year, 50 the year before, or vice versa. 101 in the last 2 years, one way or the other. And it just all came apart for Johnson this year. They have DFA'd him. Singleton getting some good looking swings, but coming up empty. Singleton 0 for 2 with a strikeout. But when you talk Oakland A's and LA Angels, you're talking best 2 offenses in the league. With the A's, you're talking excellent pitching. The Angels have been far superior to what people thought they'd be this year.
The bullpen is a question mark for me. I know Houston Street's going to be a nice addition for them.
He's not your classic closer anymore.
Well, he's not going to blow your doors off, but he's got great off speed, pitches, good changeup, good slider, pitches well.
Two and 2 the count on Singleton. Matt Dominguez waits on deck. By the way, Brandon McCarthy was the winner. 2-0 now for the Yankees as they defeated Texas. Ground ball to the right side. Sogard to his right will throw on the run to get the out. 2 up, 2 down in the 7th inning. Matt Dominguez is 0 for 2 on the day. A couple of flyouts. J.P. Arencibia, by the way, had a home run for Texas. They don't have much going on right now. Although still some nice names. Adrian Beltre took an 0 for 4. He's been involved in that batting race among the leaders. A ball and a strike on Matty D. Jeff Samardzija just rolling along. Pitch number 87. Sliders fouled back. One and 2 the count. Matt hitting .237. Good sinker. Strikes him out at 95 miles an hour. 5 strikeouts for Samardzija. A 1-2-3 7th. It's 9-1. A's with the lead.
A's over the Astros. We move to the bottom of the 7th. Come to Minute Maid Park to honor the Astros of the past during Legends Weekend, August 1st to the 3rd, as the Astros host the Toronto Blue Jays. Come to the ballpark early, as each night 10,000 fans will receive promotional items honoring Berkman, Oswalt, and Pettit. For tickets, visit Astros.com or call 1-877-9-ASTROS.
Thank you, Julia. A lot of fans having a good time here at the ballpark today. Julia, you've been finding Anything special to talk about here at the O.co?
No, they don't have any root beer floats today. I'm a little disappointed.
Did you get one yesterday?
Yes.
No, that's good.
No, it's a gorgeous day.
Did you get Jose Canseco to serve it to you?
He was doing autographs. He was just signing. He wasn't scooping yesterday.
Yeah, that's a shame.
A little disappointed.
That's a shame.
He's suffering from a little bit of tendonitis. Wouldn't have been a good scoop.
We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. The Oakland A's have put 9 runs on the board. Jeff Samardzija has been very good on the pitching side.
LJ Hose has moved into right field. Marlon Gonzalez, Julia talked about having issues with that right hamstring, so LJ Hose will go into right. Believe in center field, Robbie Grossman will be out there, moving from right to center, and then Kike will move from center field into shortstop.
So there you go. And the first pitch in for a strike. Anthony Bass still on the hill.
There's Kike.
Kike's everywhere. Ball and a strike. Philadelphia Phillies down the Giants 2-1. Giants, after a terrific start on their season, have had their struggles, and yet they lead by a couple of games over the Dodgers at the start of play. Fly ball left field. Coming on, Krause, after a late jump, has to slide into it. And out number 1.
Krause was breaking to the wall. Try and bring back a home run, but this one starting back and coming in and turned it into a pretty good play.
That's what you do when you get the big hitters taking the big swings.
Eric Sogard will appreciate that.
It's all about the pump. 1 out, top of the order. Coco Crisp at the plate. 1 for 3. Driven in a run with a sac fly. He scored a run. And he is taken here in the 7th inning. Hitting .279 on the year. Toronto Blue Jays hosted the Red Sox, and the Jays come out victorious 8-0. 0-2 the count. There's that Blue Jay victory over the Red Sox. Texas falling to the Yankees.
Finally kept Big Papi off the board. He's been on fire.
Slider of ball gets by Corcoran. Anthony Bass had a tough entry into the game in the 6th inning, giving up the grand slam to Moss. And now he gets ahead 0-2. Count moves to 2-2. Curveball stays up. It's fouled back. In that 8-0 victory for the Blue Jays over the Red Sox, a combined 1-hitter. Marcus Stroman got the start, 7 innings of 1-hit ball. Richmond and Rasmussen coming in to close it out with that 1-hitter intact. The only hit for the Red Sox, Shane Victorino. Two. Breaking ball hit on the ground sharply. Right there is Kike Hernandez. Bobbles at least a couple of times and somehow makes the play as he gets a nice pick from Singleton.
Ball may have jumped up and bit Kike in the right hand. That'll annoy you. Nice play by Singleton picking up Kike. Doing his best Harlem Globetrotters impression. He was still juggling that until he had the throw.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that didn't take a little bite out of a finger, nail on the right hand side.
I've done that 3 times. Shattered fingers doing it.
On ground balls or on throws at the bag?
Ground balls.
Really?
A couple of funky hops. That top hand gets in there a little bit too quick. Hit right on the end of the finger and just snap 2 of them. And then first year in Arizona, I come off the DL after having knee surgery. Ground ball catches the side of my pinky and just destroyed it. Bit unlucky.
Yeah, I think a lot of middle infielders in turning the double play will reach in too quickly, at least early in their careers, and get one on the end of the finger. A little surprised to hear ground balls getting you to that extent.
I'm not surprised by it at all because bad hops happen.
Yeah, no, and I get that.
Because you're taught to have almost what we call an alligator coaching the softball teams that I have, but they do the alligator. You get that second hand on top, and if it takes a bad hop as you're bringing your hand in there, anticipating the good hop, that's when it'll smoke you.
One and 2 the count on Jaso.
Never had any problem with the exchange at second base.
Is that right?
Yeah, always managed to find its way into the glove.
And the pitch hit sharply. That's backhanded at second by Altuve. Had to go wide to his right to get to that straight up spot. And a 1-2-3 7th inning. How about that? 9-1. A's lead it. The Astros return home to greet one of the game's best young sluggers as Giancarlo Stanton and the Miami Marlins come to Minute Maid. That's for a 3-game series. Pre-game live starts at 6:30 tomorrow night on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans are in a dancing mood, and the A's bats have put it that way very nicely for them. Jeff Samardzija also responsible for the mood here. He'll work it into the 8th inning. Bottom 3 in the order for the Astros. Carlos Corporon will start it. Samardzija trying to win his second now as a member of the A's. He's 1-1 coming in. Corpy on the day 0 for 2. Broken bat flare into center field, and that drops in front of the charging Coco Crisp. So Carlos has his first hit of the day, just number 4 for Houston.
I appreciate these guys tuning into our pregame and swinging at these first pitches and getting hits on those first pitches. Another one by Corcoran right there.
The home run by Chris Carter, the big example today.
Number 6.
Doesn't have to be a rocket. Hits is hits.
The end of the barrel came off like a rocket. Nobody out for Kike Hernandez. Kike 0 for 2 on the day. And the first pitch from Samardzija in for a strike. Just 5 1/3 innings out of Scott Feldman. as he allowed 9 hits, walked 5. 6 earnings against Scott, and the ERA now at 4.60. Ground ball. Foul outside the bag at third. 0-2 the count on Kike.
Super stoked. You know what's a lost art in baseball?
What's that?
Is a third baseman throwing the ball back to the pitcher after it's been fouled off.
Oh.
They just immediately flip it in the stands.
Doesn't happen anymore. Ground ball again, foul.
Doug Brocail was a guy that could manipulate a baseball every once in a while. And I remember I knew this playing third base with him. If the ball was foul, I threw it right back to him. One of the other kids that we were playing with in San Diego didn't throw the ball back. I think it was maybe Kuzminoff didn't throw the ball back, and you can hear Doug from the dugout.
Ground ball to first base. They'll try to get 2 out at second base and no out at first. Legging it out is Kike Hernandez, out number 1 in the inning. The fielder's choice brings Marwin Gonzalez to the plate.
But Doug was on the mound. A foul ball went, and third baseman went and got it and just did the same thing Donaldson did. Threw it back up in the stands, and you can hear Doug from the dugout screaming at him, "Hey, don't ever do that again. You throw that ball back to me if it's foul." And the kid was like, "Okay."
Now, by manipulate a baseball, what are you trying to say?
Well, knowing your past experience and some of the guys you worked with in your career.
Well, wait a minute now. You keep me out of your stories, okay?
No, Doug, if he got a scuffed ball thrown back to him, he knew exactly what to do with it. He can make that thing dance.
I am not participating in your stories. It's off the mark for me. Fly ball left field. Coming in to make the play is Brandon Moss, second out of the inning. And back to the top with Jose Altuve.
It's competitive advantage.
Stories of nefarious activity. Not going to join in. Jose Altuve's 1 for 3. 2 times they got him on strikes. We're talking about all the strikeouts for Jose Altuve recently. Very unusual, and yet he maintains that lead in the batting race. Hits one through the hole on the left side. So Jose Altuve, despite a couple of strikeouts today, is 2 for 4 on the day and just keeps plugging along. Just amazing stuff from Jose Altuve.
Great guests, hot topics, and no holds barred debate. Kevin Eschenfelder serves it up fresh every single night on Sports Talk, live every weeknight at 5 p.m. only on Comcast Sportsnet. Friday's guests are Seth Payne and the Rockets sharpshooter Troy Daniels.
Two outs. Pair of runners aboard, first and second for Robbie Grossman. Robbie's 1 for 3 on the day. So the Astros now with 5 hits against Samardzija. His 97th pitch is in for a strike. It is such a pleasure to get to watch Jose Altuve and what he's been doing. 141 hits now on the year. 0-2 on Grossman. The crowd getting behind Samardzija. Nice job by Norris to keep this in front. A ball and 2 strikes. With the 2 hits today, Altuve hitting .338. That's 1 point up from the .337 where he started the day. Grossman lays off the off-speed delivery. 2-2 the count.
Nice play by Smarja to keep that ball in front of him.
And the right-hander loosening in the pen for the Oakland A's.
Scribner, he was just called up to replace Jim Johnson, who got designated.
Right-hander Evan Scribner. Yeah, just came up today. Robbie Grossman down on strikes. Second time for Robbie today. That'll do it for Houston. They get a pair of hits, and they strand him, and they trail it 9-1.
A's over the Astros, and as promised earlier in the game, we have the AT&T fan photo of the game. Today it is at Bama386 tweeting, enjoying the Astros last week. Good stuff there. Tweet your photos to hashtag CSNHFanPhoto for a chance to be shown in an upcoming game broadcast brought to you by AT&T. We also asked you a Twitter question today. We had some good responses. With Springer out, who becomes the Astros' most dependable source for RBI? At Astros Future says, has to be Chris Carter. Has been swinging the bat well in July and has home run ability in every at-bat. At Juan Gutierrez, Chris Carter with his power and how he is swinging the bat now, he is a big RBI factor, guys.
Thanks, Julia. And it is good to see with Chris. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The A's send their 3, 4, 5 spots to the plate. Josh Donaldson leads it off. He's been on base 3 times today, a base hit. He has walked. He's been hit by a pitch. Doing the Oakland A's thing. They have 11 hits to go with their 9 runs. A grand slam by Brandon Moss. 5 slams this year for the Oakland A's. 3 by Moss. Josh Zeid on to work it here in the 8th inning. Third pitch of the afternoon for the Astros. And for Zeid, his 23rd appearance. Left-hand hitters have had a feast. 1-2 the count. Little chopper goes foul. The A's struck first, 3 runs in the 3rd inning against Feldman. The Astros picked up a run in the 4th, a Chris Carter solo home run, his 20th of the year. A's came right back with a run of their own in the 4th inning. But then the 6th inning, the difference maker in the ball game. 5 runs for Oakland, and highlighted by that grand slam from Brandon Moss. Little Fister's going to drop in left center field. That's a base hit. Robbie Grossman cuts it off. A leadoff single in the 8th inning.
And here's our Mako big hit of the game. Go back to that big swing for the only run for the Houston Astros off the bat of, or I'm sorry, the grand slam. Brandon Moss. I was rooting for the home team right there, but that definitely is the Mako big hit of the game. That's the one that pushed the Astros even further down in this game. Big grand slam, third one on the year for Brandon Moss.
Took a 4-1 Oakland lead and turned it into an 8-1 lead. A's have added one more to make it 9-1. Cleanup man Brandon Moss at the plate. Nick Punto is now the pinch runner down at first base for Josh Donaldson. Moss checks his swing. Back home tomorrow night. Miami's Marlins coming in for 3. 1-2 the count on Moss.
You got to do me a favor in that Miami Marlins series.
Yeah.
You got to go over and say hello to the first base coach for me, Perry Hill.
One of the great infield coaches, from what I understand.
He is the best.
That pitch in the dirt gets Moss, so he's hit by the pitch. Punto moves into second. Nobody out. Runners at first and second. And Derek Norris comes to the plate.
Really nowhere to go for Moss. Trying to decide which foot to move out of the way, and hit that front one pretty good.
Matt Galani, one of the great infield coaches. Brian Butterfield, a guy that I was around for a number of years in Toronto, I think is fantastic. But I've heard the same stories about Perry Hill.
Well, Perry Hill is the guy that was in Montreal when I was coming up and I eventually made it to the major leagues. He was the one that had me out early in spring training in the 2000 year when I was starting to move all over the infield and try and make my way onto that roster. But he spent a vast amount of time with me at second base, first base, third base, getting me prepared to play infield at the big league level, and I credit a lot of my success defensively to him.
Norris hooks it foul to the bullpen down the left field side, where Scribner continues to throw. He would appear to be the guy to come on for the 9th inning. A's are trying to add to this 9-1 lead. What sort of things for a guy like you? I mean, you're a guy who had great success on every level you played on, and then you come to the big leagues, and a coach is going to start working with you. What does he do that you don't already know?
His approach. He's a likable guy. His techniques were simple. They made sense, and they worked. You know, I was lucky enough to have the mentality where I wanted to be coached and wanted to try things that would keep me in the major leagues.
It was not what you'd call the power swing from Norris.
But he got out there, and he was, you know, for a coach to be willing to work with a guy like me, I wanted to be willing to work with him, and everything he was doing made sense to me. And I think he adapted to my ability, some of the techniques, but they allowed me to move over to third base. I hadn't played third base until I got to the big leagues.
Pitch gets away from Corpy. Not enough for the runners to move up. So it wasn't one size fits all. It was adjust to your abilities.
No, and I think that's what the good coaches do, is they have a philosophy, of course, and they have an idea of how to get guys to do things, but they also have to realize what you're working with. If you've got a guy that is reasonably athletic, you might be able to do a little bit more with him, but Perry Hill was just one of those guys that I connected with. And, you know, I turned into his project, and he worked hard with me, and I worked hard with him.
Line drive left center field. Long run for Robbie Grossman. He starts kind of back and eventually can't get there. Keeps the ball in front. It's a base hit for Norris. Everybody moves up 90 feet. The bases are juiced with nobody out for Stephen Vogt. And so Josh Zeid having a tough time here in the 8th inning. But not the most direct route in center for Robbie Grossman.
Yeah, you got a guy at home plate in Derek Norris. Sometimes you react to the swing before you react to the ball, and it's tough playing center field straight on. But yeah, definitely broke back. Didn't have enough time to get back in there and make the play on this one. Now, that was rather circuitous right there.
Yeah, just kind of that loop eventually heading to the baseball. 2 hits and a hit batter. Stephen Vogt at the plate. He takes a strike. 13 hits now for the A's. Infield playing back for the double play. From the stretch, Zide works it. 2-1 the count. There are guys in this bullpen for the Astros who have been really good, and then there are others who have had their struggles. 2-2 now on Vogt.
He likes going after those high strikes. Not sure if that was a strike, but he turns it into a strike by chasing some of those high pitches. Vogt does.
The whip for Zide on the season at 1.7 plus. 2-2 pitch drilled into left field. That's a base hit. That's to the gap. At least a pair will score. In fact, it'll be a 3-run double. Stephen Vogt driving in 3 to make it 12-1 A's on top of the Astros. Pitch runner now for the Oakland A's. Nate Fryman will come on as that pitch runner for Stephen Vogt. But again, 12-1, the A's leading it here in the final game of the series.
Just continue to have base runners all over the place. Another bases loaded opportunity. But that's the philosophy in Oakland. More base runners, more opportunities to score runs, and the Astros' inability to put anybody away in RBI situations.
Still nobody out. 3 hits and a hit batter in the inning. Ground ball to the right side. This off the bat of Jed Lowry. Moving into third base is Fryman on out number 1. It'll bring up the 8-hitter Josh Reddick.
Good hustle by Jed Lowry there. Maybe he got a hall pass too as far as running.
There's something dripping there from the corners of your mouth. You might want to check that.
Why are you looking at my mouth?
Looks like it could be sarcasm.
Yeah, just a little bit. Had nothing to do with careless whisper going again.
Oh, I think a lot has had to do with that today.
On the athletic side.
Two 2-0 the count.
You really never know what's going to motivate a big league ball club, but Careless Whisper has got the A's in the mood.
I wonder if the boys are still getting some laughs out of that. Shot to center field. Robbie Grossman's there to make the catch. Tagging and coming to the plate is Nate Fryman. It'll be a sac fly, second out of the inning, but now 13-1. And the RBI for Reddick, his first of the day. Two sacrifice flies for the A's today. That's a good-looking ball club.
Yeah, you get your new acquisition in Jeff Samardzija to go 8 strong. And then you give him a 13-run output from your offense, and that's pretty promising.
9-hitter Eric Sogard at the plate takes a strike. Four-run inning. 0-2 the count. Zide trying to get through this 8th. Staying alive is Sogard. Coming up on the 3-hour mark, it feels more like 4 or 5 here watching this game. Of course, it hasn't been the Astros' day. It's going to do it for the A's. A pop-up at the plate. Corpy's right there in foul territory. He'll make the catch. And the A's are done in the 8th inning. They put 4 more on the board. It's 13-1. A's on top and enjoying everything at the yard. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. So we go to the 9th inning, 13-1. The A's lead over the Astros. The A's go to their bullpen for Evan Scribner. He'll be the second pitcher of the day, as Jeff Samardzija was very good for 8.
Recalled from Sacramento, 31 games down there. Good record, reasonable numbers. Whip 1.12, not too bad. Only given up 2 home runs in those 37 2/3 innings pitched. Pretty good. Nick Punto moving into third base after pinch running for Josh Donaldson, and I believe Nate Fryman over at first base. Also,
so a few changes for the A's.
There you go.
Chris Carter will stand in to lead it off here in the 9th inning. 3, 4, 5 coming up. Carter, Krause, and Singleton due up. Big swing by Chris. 0-1 the count. Carter slammed his 20th bomb of the year in the 4th inning. Now has 45 ribbies. 1 for 3 on the day. Hit one very sharply in the 6th inning as he lined to right field. And now 0-2 the count. Right-hander Scribner brings the 0-2. It's popped up on the right side. Shallow into right, coming on, and making the play is Reddick, out number 1.
We talked about Julia's fashion sense, and it started at a young age. You can see how well she could accessorize the hat backwards on top. Pay special attention to the fanny pack. That's, you know, it's an underestimated accessory. Can hold a myriad of things in there. I'm sure various lip balms, but rumor has it you made a purchase.
I did. During the All-Star break, I found a Texas flag fanny pack.
Oh my gosh! Because the black one was too subtle.
Right. I will be bringing it on the next road trip.
You have to. We gotta dissect what you can actually have in your fanny pack during a game.
I have no idea what I'm gonna put in there. I guess my cell phone, maybe.
You could put your backup microphone. Saw you need that the other day.
True.
Some batteries.
You should have seen how excited I was to find that fanny pack.
Did you go into an actual store and buy it, or did you do it online in the secrecy of your own home?
No, I found it in a store walking around.
Oh boy.
And it was on the mannequin, and I stopped in my tracks. I was like, does anyone else see this?
That was a must-have for Julia Morales.
Curveball hit on the ground, back up the middle, and a base hit for Mark Krause. He's 1 for 4 on the day. His second hit since rejoining the ball club. It'll bring up John Singleton with 1 out.
Number 28.
Scribner has come in throwing strikes. Singleton 0 for 3 with a strikeout. 6 strikeouts of Houston hitters on the day. It's a high strike.
I feel it's been up there all day.
Yeah.
Maybe not quite to that extent, but it's been up there. Not getting that call.
Paul Schreiber calling balls and strikes for Evan Scribner. One ball and 1 strike. Base hit by Krause, number 6 for Houston. Now Scribner's joined a pretty good club. Two balls and 2 strikes. Singleton hitting 181 and pops it foul on the left side. You could see him really try to get on top of that ball and just able to make contact.
You know, we do a lot of hard work up here, and we have people in the truck that help us out with stats, but every once in a while Brian McTaggart will sneak a couple in there for us and help us out.
And they will get to it. Not get the double play. They'll get the force out at second for the second out of the inning. So that'll bring Matt Dominguez to the plate with 2 outs.
Brian McTaggart has mentioned on Twitter that this is the second time this season the Astros have given up 13 runs, which is a season high. And unless they score a run in this 9th inning, this would be the Astros' largest margin of defeat this year. Not a good day to be a Houston Astro.
Thanks, Tags.
No, he's good. He's on it.
Matty D fouls it off. Well, it was scoreless for a couple of innings today, but the A's with 3 in the 3rd got it all started. They picked up 5 in the 6th, 4 more in the 8th inning. It's been a day of big innings for the A's. That takes one up and in. 2-1 the count. Dominguez looking for his first hit of the day. He's 0 for 3 and hitting .237. Ground ball back to the mound. This will do it. Scribner with the play, and the Astros are done They get a hit and leave a man in the ninth inning. It was all Oakland A's today. Big bats. Brandon Moss with the grand slam. 14 hits on the day to produce the 13 runs, and the Oakland A's extend their leading record to 63-38.